Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Muhammad Tariq, and I am an assistant professor at Department of Commerce in Iram Girls Degree College, Indiranagar, Lucknow. Okay, I am teaching their students of BCom and MCom, and the subjects which I am teaching there includes business research also. So here today I will discuss with you upon research, upon business research basically. First of all, we should understand that what is research, why do we do research. Basically research is the way just to reach the truth through scientific or systematic manner, through scientific or systematic way. Okay, it is just to resolve the problem. So research is done just to resolve the problem. The problem may be related to the individual person, or it may be related to the organization, or the problem may be related to the society or related to any country, or it may be related to the entire world, or it may be related to the climatic conditions or the environment. So problem may be of different domains, but in business research, if we talk about the business research, then what happens in business research, basically the problem is which we resolve is related to the business specifically. Okay, business specifically. So in business the problem may be of different types. In business the problem may be related to the consumers. Okay, the business, in business the problem may be related to the organization itself. The problem may be related to the suppliers of the company. The problem may be related to the employees of the company. Okay, the problem may be related to the material, either raw material of the company which is being used to furnish the final products. Okay, so there may be the problem may be of different forms in the business also. So business research is very necessary because through business research we can save businesses from losses which they can face in future due to lack of research, proper research. That's why we will find in the society that most of the businesses, either it is McDonald, or it is Domino's Pizza, or there are lots of brands. Whenever they are launching their products, or they are launching their franchises in different countries, first of all they perform business research there. They just try to understand the market there. So in business research here today we will discuss upon the data here, the data which is related to research. So what is data? The first question which arises in our mind is, what is data? So since our childhood we are studying data as the raw information, data as the raw information. But in business context, in business research context, what is data? The data may be defined as the facts and figures pertinent to the problem. The facts and figures pertinent to the problem, as I have before mentioned that in business research or in general research we try to resolve the problem. So problem is very important here. The first step of business research is to define the problem. So first of all we will have to properly understand the problem. So if we talk about data, then facts and figures which are pertinent to the problem, which are related to the problem. Okay, so this is called data in business research. So the data may be of different types. There may be lots of classifications, but broadly the data in business research has been classified into two main parts. First is primary data, and second one is secondary data. Primary data and secondary data. What happens in primary data? In primary data the facts and figures are newly collected for the specific research, for the specific project, by the researcher itself or by his or her team whom the researcher has trained. So in primary research, that the fresh data is being collected. A fresh data is being collected by the researcher or his team or his or her team. While the second one is secondary data. In secondary data, what happens? What is secondary data? The secondary data, these are facts and figures which are already recorded in another project, the research which has been done earlier, the data related to that research, not related to current research. Okay, so that would be called secondary data, which is not collected by the researcher or his or her team. Okay, this is old data, we can say this is old data, or this is data which is not related to this specific problem on which we are working, on which we are performing research. So the broad classification is primary data and secondary data. Now what are the different sources of primary data or secondary data? In primary data, what happens? In primary data, what things comes under primary data? How do we collect primary data? We collect primary data with the help of interview. Okay, whenever we go to take anyone's interview, then what happens? We are just getting fresh information through that interview. Through that interview, we are getting fresh information. Okay, so interview is one of the source of primary data. In interview, we use schedule. What is schedule? Schedule contains number of questions which are to be asked from the interviewee or from the respondent. Okay, these are the list of questions which is hidden, which is not shown to the candidate or respondent. Okay, which is not shown to the interviewee or respondents. It is held by researcher only, one who takes interview. And so this is one of the source of primary data, interview. Another source of primary data is questionnaire. So questionnaire, with the help of questionnaire, what we do? Basically we do survey. Okay, questionnaire contains number of questions which may be of either close ended or which may be open ended questions. It depends upon the type of research which is being performed there. So questionnaire is prepared just to collect the data through survey. As I will suggest my own example. During my PhD, I was also working on primary data. So I prepared a questionnaire. So I collected data from the students of UG, PG and PhD from different state universities. So I had taken, like I will give you an example of Aligarh Muslim University, from where I have collected data for my research. So I went to the library, the central library of our university. There I distributed my questionnaire to the number of students who were studying there. So there are different sections. So there was PhD section, there is a UG section, there is PG section. So I distributed my questionnaire in different sections and I waited there till they completed the questionnaire. Then I took all the questionnaires, returned back. So this is the way how I collected my primary data through questionnaire with the help of survey. Okay, so this is this is another source of collecting primary data. Likewise, if we talk about there are other sources also with which we can collect primary data. In science, in the field of science, the data may be collected with the help of experiments. So these are collected in the labs with the help of different instruments or different machines. Okay, so this is also called primary data. While if we talk about the secondary data, now it comes about the secondary data. Then in secondary data, what happens? Secondary data, as we have told, it has already been done, the research has already been done and the data is already available. So the secondary data may be of two different types. It may be internal data or it may be external data. It may be internal data or it may be external data. Internal data, suppose I have an organization. Okay, I suppose I belong to IRAM degree college, and in IRAM some records are maintained. That is as usual, that is required. Okay, so that is not related to specific research, but it is already available. Either it is related to customer relationship or it is related to supply or related to other sort of financial details, related to other sorts of financial details. So these are data which are already available in the organization. So internal data includes which is the data which is inside the firm. It may be financial statements, it may be research reports, it may be files, it may be customer letters. So there are, it may be number of students, list of number of students, details about their parents. So there may be different sorts of data which the organization is already having about the business which is being run by the organization. So that is called internal data. Another one is, so internal data comes under secondary data. Okay, secondary data has two types of data, internal data and external data. Internal data is related to the data which is already means which organizations already have for other purposes, okay, but can be used for the research. So another one is external data. So external data, so external data is also a part of secondary data. So external data is not related to the organization specifically, but it is outside the organization, like census, okay, the data of census in India which was done in the year 2011. So the data is secondary data and it can be used for our own research also, okay. So there may be different other things which comes under the external data of secondary data type. It may be internet based reports, okay, different reports. So now we can understand the basic classification of data. So data has been broadly classified into primary data and secondary data. In primary data we collect data, or we can say the different sources of data are questionnaire, or maybe interview, maybe experiments in labs, okay, or many other. And in secondary data, the data may be classified further into internal data and external data. Internal data is specifically related to the data which an organization is having, okay, and the second external data which comes under secondary data is a type of data which is not owned by the organization, but it is available externally outside the organization, like the census, okay. So till now we have understood that these are the basic main data which are used in the research, okay. So here I hope everything will be clear about the type of data. There is another classification which is found somewhere, like tertiary data, okay, but it is not broadly found everywhere. The main classification includes primary data and secondary data. Somewhere tertiary data is also found. So tertiary data, basically it is related to the facts and figures, or we can say it tells people about the sources of secondary data only, okay. So just to find out the sources of secondary data, we need tertiary data, okay. So tertiary data tells about the secondary data, that is the only thing, but the main broad classification of data is primary data and secondary data. So I hope everyone would be understood, and if have any problem you can just write down in a comment, or personally meet me at Iram Girls Degree College, Indiranagar. That is one of the renowned college in Lucknow, and I hope all the best for everyone, and I'll keep continue delivering my lectures on different topics related to marketing, related to business research, related to entrepreneurship, as this is my specialization. So all the best. Thank you very much. Goodbye.